So after you have poured the water on top, you bring your big blue brush here and scrape the sidewalls of all the product. And once that's done, we'll drain the water that's in the machine and repeat the steps, process 2 or 3 more times. Now we drain the water. As you can see, the product is still in there. So you want to wait until it's cleared. So we'll do this process 2 more times until the water runs clear. So now we've drained all the water, most of it. Now we're going to turn it off wash mode. So both sides are off, they're powered down. Next we're going to disassemble the door. So we'll take these 4 nuts off of the door frame. Next we'll take the arm torque out, this little piece. We'll push up and then down so it'll disconnect from this lever up here. And then you can pull out the door. And you'll take out the beater with the scraper blade. And then back here, you want to make sure you pull the drive shaft out and the seal. Now that all the parts have been taken out, we have our sink here filled with hot water with soap, and we'll use the brush to get in the crevices. So here I have the drive shaft, the drive seal, our torque assembly, beater assembly, scraper blade. I have an icebreaker. All right, and here we have the door handle, pin valve, the slush draw valve. Here we have the bearing, the door, the O-ring around the door, and our door nuts. So now that we've cleaned the unit and we've washed the parts and these are now dry, we'll take our lube here, our Taylor lube. We'll have our drive shaft and the seal put on here. You want to put it around the sides here and make sure it covers the gap between the actual drive shaft and the middle of the seal. So I'll have a little bit more. First we put the drive shaft in. See back here? Make sure you hear it pop with that seal. Next we have the beater assembly with the scraper blade. Connect this hole here and this inlet here. You'll connect with the drive shaft. All right, so we have the torque assembly here and the bearing guide. You're going to connect this bearing guide to the back into the drive shaft and make sure that this is facing up and down. You can see that. Now we have the door that we're going to assemble. You want to make sure the Taylor symbol is facing upwards. Our O-ring for the door, you want to make sure is flush or product will get through. Next, the lip on this bearing is going to go against the door. Next we have the draw valve. You will be lubing both of the O-rings, just a little bit of lube. Make sure it's all the way around. Now the front of the door, we'll put this on top, O-rings facing down. Slide in there. And this hole here is for the door handle. You want to keep that right there so it's easy for the door handle to go in. Next, now that we have the door valve in, this is our icebreaker. This will connect on the back. This is what breaks up the slush. It's not going in all the way yet, so you have to turn the valve until you're able to get it to connect. Or slide in, and then you're good to go. Next, we'll put our door handle in. Note there is an indent here. You want to have that facing up so that our pin can go on top. And then you can move the valve up and down. Now that the door is assembled, next step is to put it on here. There's an inlet here. We'll connect that. Next is the arm torque. You'll go underneath and up through this hole and back down here. Now it's put back together, and I always go corners first, tighten lightly. Now all four nuts are on here. You want to make sure those are nice and tight so no product is leaking from underneath. And the next step would be to sanitize the hoppers and machine. And then once that's finished, you can put your product back in.